have a quote from Abigail Adams here, and I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to ask you what you think that it means. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So she says, "In the new code of laws, which I suppose it will be necessary for you to make, I desire you would remember the ladies, and be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors. Do not put such unlimited power into the hands of the husbands. Remember, all men would be tyrants if they could. If particular care and attention is not paid to the ladies, we are determined to foment a rebellion, and will not hold ourselves bound by any laws in which we have no voice or representation. That your sex are naturally tyrannical is a truth so thoroughly that established as to admit of no dispute. But such do as you wish to be happy, willingly give up the harsh title of master for the more tender and endearing one friend. Men of sense in all ages arbor those customs which treat us only as vassals of your sex. Regard us then being placed by Providence under your protection, and in imitation of the Supreme Being, make use of that power only for our happiness." So, can you maybe explain like what you think that this quote's about, or what it's talking about?
Just talking about women. It's like written from a woman to just say, hey, I think that we should be treated the same, equal in the relationship or just in society, period.
Okay, so yeah, basically, so Abigail Adams wrote this, and it's to her husband John Adams. It was during the Revolutionary War in 1776, and she wrote a letter while the writing of the new laws for the revolutionary government, in hope for consideration of women's rights. Um, do you agree as this? Oh. Okay, I'm gonna read some of the specific quotes that I pointed out, and then we're just gonna talk about what they mean. Okay, so this one says that your sex are naturally tyrannical. Do you know what tyrannical means?
No.
So it's basically just exercising power in a cruel way. So again, she says that your sex are naturally tyrannical is a truth so thoroughly established as to admit of no dispute. So she's basically saying, she's just calling out the societal view of men, and she says that their view is wrong and manipulative, because we talked about before, it's about the consideration of women's rights, and she's basically just saying that men that just want to be in control, they're wrong, and this is manipulative and it's cruel. This next quote says, "But such of you as wish to be happy willingly give up the harsh title of master for the more tender and endearing one of a friend." She's basically saying here that she wishes men would view the women as partners versus having control and being bossy towards them. You know, a lot of times that the women would just do what their husbands say, and the husband has the say so in a lot of different things. So she's basically just saying that she wishes that they would be more tender and easygoing versus just being so controlling. This last quote that I wrote says, "Regard us then as beings placed by Providence under your protection, and imitation of the Supreme Being, make use that power only for our happiness." Can you explain what maybe you think that quote means?
I think it means to pass the same love that your God passes to you. So just treat them as equal, but cherish them, and don't just like belittle them the entire time. Love them and actually treat them as something special.
Okay, so yeah, basically, Abigail is just wanting men to demonstrate respect and protection of the women, and not view them just as property. The movement that's involved with this quote is, it was when the women's rights movement in the early America, and like I said, it was during the Revolutionary War. She has a saying in the first part that I read, and she uses it during the First Continental Congress, and a lot of people remember this quote maybe as "remember the ladies," But she does add, do not put so much unlimited power into the hands of husbands, and remember all men would be tyrants if they could. So going back to what the tyrannical was meaning is exercising power in a cruel way. So basically would be tyrants, just be cruel. I believe sometimes that men are a little more harsh, I guess, than women. Women come at it maybe more of a emotional way. So how do you feel about this? Like, what's your thoughts about her trying to do this, and if if you agree that having women's rights is a good thing?
I believe that. Yeah, I believe that having women's rights is a good thing. And I genuinely do agree, especially with that last one. It was talking about the supreme being.
Do not put. Are you talking about the do not put so much unlimited power into the hands, or are you talking about the regard us then as beings placed by providence under your protection?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
I relate to that one a lot. So yeah, if I was to rate it 1 out of 10, I'd probably give it a 10.
Okay. So you agree basically that this should have been. Okay, I do also.